Hi, Tony Sycamore here, Senior Market Analyst at IG in Australia. US stocks finished last week on a high note led by the Dow as investors chased cyclical stocks which are expected to benefit from a resilient economy. President-elect Trump has nominated Scott Bessent as the new Treasury Secretary, a choice which will please global markets given he is market savvy and his stance on gradually implementing tariffs. In the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday shortened week, attention will be on the FOMC meeting minutes and the core PCE price index. With US equities outperforming, there is the possibility of rebalancing sell flows for month end, although some may delay until after Trump's policies are confirmed. Let's take a look at the charts of the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq to see where we are as we start the new week. Okay, so what we can see with the Nasdaq chart here is that it has started to fill the gap which came on the 15th of November. So we see that as a kind of a bullish indication, particularly if it can get back and completely fill that gap. So at this point of time, it's trying its hardest, but there's still a little bit of work to go. So what we think is, while it holds above last week's low, which came in around 20,315, and again above this really important level of support, 19,900 to 19,800, you need to allow the uptrend to resume. And where we could possibly see the Nasdaq go, well, it would start with a test and break of the record high here, potentially up towards 21,500. A significant way higher is this trend line support coming from the weekly timeframes, which comes in, as you can see, up around this 22,500 area. But by and large, there has been a little bit of cooling. NVIDIA's earnings report wasn't really the game changer, which many had hoped for, but it is trying to get back and fill this gap here. So let's keep an eye on that for this week. For the S&P 500, it has filled the gap low, which came through on the 15th of November. Not only that, is that the low you can see here at 58.53 was also meant that it held this gap here that followed the US election on the 6th of November. So we've got a gap being filled here. This gap's been held. By and large, pretty good signs here that the S&P can retest and break this 6,012 high. And I will stay with that view in terms of being bullish, looking for further upside, providing we hold above this low here. And of course, this horizontal support we've spoken about for many, many weeks now, coming in around 57.70-ish to 57.50-ish. So while we're above here, things look like they can continue to develop towards the upside. Keeping in mind, if we were to break below this horizontal support, well, not far below here now, you've got trendline support coming from the October 23 pivot low, which comes in around 5,500-ish. And of course, the 200-day moving average is not far below that, coming in around 54.30. So some pretty solid support here on the downside as well right now. So let's keep an eye on these support levels, starting with short-term support here. You've got your medium-term support and then longer-term support in this area here. Obviously, if all of those levels were to fall like a domino, I guess, you'd be looking for a deeper retracement down towards 51.19. Thank you for listening and have a good week ahead.